Alright, now the trailer. If you're looking for a set of tire chains that are going to give you a little bit more peace of mind because they're going to tighten as you drive and they're going to be able to get you through those moderate snow and ice conditions, and you don't want to get underneath your vehicle to install them, then the Pewag Servo RS Tire Chains are going to be a great option for your 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now we're going to have this on our tire size 235 60 R18. Now this will fit a variety of other sizes. That's just the size we have today. If you're not sure if this is going to fit your vehicle, you can actually plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find the correct fit for you. And we're also going to have this on our front axle as what the manual recommends. So let's check them out. Very low profile, they're actually going to be Class S chains. And what that means is they're going to be a certain size on your tire, and this size is going to allow us to have plenty of room to sit underneath our suspension so we don't make contact with anything. And then as for the chains themselves, they're going to have these square link designs with these grooves on them. And what all that means is when you're driving through those moderate snow and ice conditions, this is just going to give you a little bit more bite to get through it. And then they're going to be made out of a titanium alloy steel. And this is going to be a very durable material, and it's going to last you a long time because it's also going to be weather resistant. So you don't have to worry about these rusting for a while. We're also going to have this diamond pattern. That diamond pattern is giving us more coverage on the tire. In turn, is going to give us more surface area, which is going to give us more traction overall, which is going to be making turns a bit easier too. And if you look at the center, we're going to have these coated links. And these coated links are designed for if there are a couple spots where they're kind of overhanging with our rim. If they make contact, they're going to be less likely to scratch anything up. And then for the piece that really sets this all apart, we're going to have our self-tensioning device. The way this works is we're going to have a series of tension points, which is going to have these links. I apply pressure so it's distributing throughout our chain entirely. Then we're going to have this cord that runs up into the device. When you switch this lever over, that's going to cinch everything in and tighten these up, which is great because as you drive, things are probably going to shift a little bit, and when they shift, they're going to loosen up. And what this is going to do is constantly apply tension so you don't have any loose chains. And what I really like about these chains is the container they come in. Now this is going to come with 2 chains, and this is a very durable container, so it can take a beating, and it's going to be very low profile. It doesn't take up a lot of space. And what I enjoy about it is when I open it up, there's going to be this divider in here, which is really nice to have with chains because if you don't have your chains divided or separated, what can happen a lot of times, they're going to get tangled together and then twisted up, and that's going to be a real pain to take out, especially if you find yourself needing to use them. You probably don't want to untangle chains while you're at it. Now, in my opinion, I think these are a really nice set of chains for the reasons I talked about earlier. You don't have to worry about them loosening up as you drive. They're going to give you plenty of traction too for those moderate snow and ice conditions. And what I like about them is the install. We don't have to get underneath our vehicle because Santa Fe is pretty low to the ground, and it's going to be a tight fit for a lot of chains. These I can install all from the front of it. Now, if you're not a big fan of any chain styles or anything that you have to make connections to, or maybe you're looking for something that's a little bit more affordable, then I would recommend checking out some Titan Chain snow socks. What's really nice is they just kind of wrap around your tire, pull it forward, wrap around the other half, and then you're set to go. The only downside to those is if you're driving through any areas that are kind of spotty, you might have a couple pavement patches showing through. If your socks make contact with those, it can do a lot of damage to and tear them up because they're not designed to drive on pavement. These aren't designed to drive on pavement either, but they're going to be a lot more forgiving rather than some socks. But if you are curious to see how easy this installation looks, just stay tuned. We'll show you how we did it. To start off the installation, I'm going to grab some gloves, and they are chains. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, I recommend staying home, trying this out, so you don't have to try to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. But with the chains out, what I'm mainly looking for is to make sure that there's no damages to our links, nothing's twisted up, and this is in the right orientation. So what I'm looking for is the flat side of these hooks to be facing up, so they're away from our tires. And then we also want to make sure that this gray tubing is closest to the tire, and the other side is going to have our self-tensioning device. We want to make sure that we don't have any connections in the center, and after when we've established that, we can start putting it on. And I'm just going to push things to the relative sides. Probably just start with this side too. So I'm just going to just shove it behind here. Kind of fling it to the other side. Make sure everything comes through. And lay everything out a bit. After which, I'm just going to grab the back end and make this connection over here. And this is really just going to involve this hook going into this channel like that. And it wraps around. Once we get something that looks like this, we're just going to let this fall back while maintaining control of our chains. Make sure that doesn't get too loose, because sometimes that hook can undo if you loosen it up by a little bit too much. And then we can start making these connections on the front side. That's just going to involve me grabbing this red link, pushing it through this red hook, and securing it. Right now, this is hanging a little bit too low. We want this to be above our rim and even on both sides. So I'm just going to shift things around a bit until I'm getting a fit that I want. After that, I'm going to come to the bottom side and just kind of pull on this chain a bit. Make sure everything feels pretty good and make this connection. Oops. But right now, it's not long enough. So what I'm going to have to do is come over here to a tensioning device. If I try to pull on this, this is not coming out. That's because we got this in drive. So I'm just going to switch this over to the open position. That's going to allow me to loosen this up. You can loosen it up by a decent amount, make this process a bit easier. And now we're getting a little bit more wiggle room to work with now. I'm just going to keep pulling on it until I have it in line with that red hook, and it's on there. And really all I have to do from this stage is go up to the tensioning device again, switch this over to drive. It'll cinch everything back down. And what I like to do is just kind of pull on the chain some, kind of pull out all that extra slack so we get a better fit. Then you can do this on the other side. And after, when you're done doing it on the other side, I recommend either pulling forward or backing up some, just so everything kind of shifts a bit and tightens down completely. After that, then you can take it out for a ride. But that was just a look at the Pewag Servo Tire Chains on our 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.